a increase in our costs from MID on our water supply, and are they projecting another increase down the road?
Yes, so our agreement, treatment delivery agreement for surface water, is to reimburse MID on their costs. So their cost in labor, chemicals, and other supplies to clean that water have increased, and that cost has been passed on to the City of Modesto.
And has the state imposed stricter cleaning guidelines for our water treatment that's made us have to add additional cleaning measures?
Yes, so as our responsibility as a water supplier to our customers and ensure that all customers receive clean drinking water regardless. The state requirements for various chemicals such as nitrates, dry cleaning chemicals is PCE, and we're finding fumigants such as 1,2,3-TCP in our groundwater system. And this is just the impact of Modesto growing into, as a former ag community, we are spreading and we're growing, but, we do see some contamination in those groundwater wells. So that we are mandated by the state to ensure that we clean that drinking water before we deliver it to our customers.
And I've noticed over the last couple of years that there's been a lot of leakage in our roads from water pipes. Do you estimate how many of our supply lines throughout the city may have to be replaced in the next 10 years?
Yes, so we, as part of this water engineer's report, the basis of that document is our water master plan. And that water master plan did a comprehensive analysis of the age of our pipes in the system and the repair rates and the amount of leaks that we have in the system. So, for instance, we do have two major projects in the
works?
I just forgot. Anyway, we have a lot of projects in there, but the two major projects are to replace old, deficient 4-inch steel water mains that have a lot of leaks. And so one of the major costs that we're experiencing and then we're going to have to address is replacing those deficient water mains.
Understand. And then I think my last comment or maybe a recommendation is that somehow we come up with some kind of a brochure. So if our low-income people are really, having struggles, we can give them some ideas on how to save water. Because if they can save water, that will help lower their bill. So if we have some type of a brochure on things they can do around their home that will cut the use of water so that their bill will stay the same, that would be fantastic.
Right, and that's already in the works too. So one of the outcomes of what we did with this water conservation program is to do more social media and to engage our residents where we need to. And the iHeartMedia, the paid advertising that we undertook gave us some good data on and help identify areas where we need to focus on, and definitely in areas where we need, where we have Spanish speakers, is an area of focus for us as we continue to communicate not just conservation but just information in general. And the two large areas was the La Loma neighborhood.
Great, and we've increased our drought-resistant rebates for planting, taking grass out, and also having people put drought-resistant plants or turf or whatever in.
Yes, so based on the success that we experienced last year on our conservation program, we've increased our budget to about $1 million. And of note as well, too, the City of Modesto just received notice that we will be receiving an $800,000 grant, primarily just focused on turf replacement. So we'll be applying state funds for that turf replacement program.
And right now, our turf replacement is 50%?
Yeah, we will. The City of Modesto, I believe, will reimburse customers $2 a square foot up to $3,500.
Okay, and can we look at increasing that? Maybe something we can look at, since we're going to get a grant for $800,000, and we're putting $1 million towards it also. Can we look at increasing those numbers so the square footage will go up and also the maximum will go up?
Yeah, we continue to look at opportunities for us to increase and promote the turf replacement program.
Great, thank you. I'm not, in favor of increases for the simple reason that public's had a lot of increases lately, Everybody's getting hit, right and left. But having clean water is important to our city. And I know how it is in other cities that when you don't take care of your water, down the road it comes back to haunt you. And we can look at Flint, Michigan. We can look at some other cities around that are struggling because of quality of water. People are getting cancer. People are dying, and quality of water is very, very important. Thank you. That's all I have.
All right. Vice Mayor Ricky.
So I guess like the first issue I have with this situation is that the Prop 18 process is just kind of, it feels like it's out of step with the community. And you can't object with an email, you can't object with a phone call. You kind of have to do it like 1977 style with an envelope and a stamp. Do we legally, according to that Prop 218 process, do we legally not have to register emails and phone calls that we get objecting to the process? And do we take statistics on things that we get from those kinds of communications?
From what I understand, we do need to, if we are raising a property-related rate, we need to follow the Proposition 218 process as described by the state.
Okay. What are our bond ratings right now?
We are AA plus right now for our bond rating.
And what's the best bond?
Oh, AA,
rating?
I'm sorry, AA.
What's the best bond rating?
AA plus.
Okay. And how much money do we generate annually from the water bills?
So with this proposed rate increase, we're looking at about an $82 million revenue generation from this rate increase. Now,
Is that 2027 numbers or 2024
that's
numbers?
2023 numbers.
I want 2027 numbers.
2027 numbers, we are looking at we're going to look at generating revenue from $83 million in fiscal year 2020, this fiscal year, up to $99 million at the end of the rate increase.
And what is the current revenue?
Current revenue right now, I believe it's about $80 million.
So current revenue is 80 million and expected revenue is going to be 100 million basically.
At the end of 5 years.
2027. Okay.
Yeah, with every year we'd have increases with, so based on the 4.5 increases, it doesn't go from 80 to 100 in the first year. It goes from 80 to about 82 up to 99 million.
Yeah, I care about where it ends up.
Yeah.
I mean, where it is next year doesn't
5
really
years,
matter
yeah.
to me. So from your water rate impact slide, if you can go back to that.
It's slide number 9.
So I'm assuming these are 2023 comparisons, correct?
Yes.
So what will the bill be in 2027?
And if a customer maintains their 15 units of water usage, their bill will go up to, let's see, make sure I get this right. It goes up to $83.61.
So at the end of the 4 years, it goes to $83. So it's adding, what was that,
About $16.
$16 to their bill. Okay. And can you show me on your forecasted agency comparison in the next slide where that puts us on that list?
If you go to slide 10. So year 2 will get us to, if you use 15 units of water, we'll be up to $73.
And so by 2027, we'll be
83.
between Lathrop and Sirius, assuming they don't raise their rates.
which all agencies are looking to raise rates, right? The cost of water and the regulatory mandates that all agencies have to face, all cities will have to address the need to meet all regulatory and legislative requirements, and they do that through rate increases.
Do you mail a ballot to people from the 218 process?
Yes, every customer within our system, everyone who has a bill, we coordinate with our folks in IT and our GIS, and we create a list of about over 75,000 customers that we mailed ballots to.
I got the ballot, or what we call the ballot, and it was pretty difficult to read and to manage. So, okay, those are my questions. Thank you.
All right, any other questions from council members? From staff? All right, seeing none, I will now open the public protest hearing. A reminder, if you wish to protest, you must submit a written protest to the clerk prior to the closing of the protest hearing. Now I will ask for members of the public to come forward regarding this item 16. I have one blue card, Anita Morrow.
Good evening. Sorry, I've never done this before, so I might be a little nervous. I've listened to him with his rate scenarios and how much it's going to increase and all this other stuff. And what people aren't understanding is that they're talking about drinking water. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at everybody in this room doesn't even drink water from a tap. So safe drinking water, even at home, myself and other people that I know don't drink our tap water. I've watched people, to change the subject, watched people over time, because between me and my husband both, we've been here all our lives. He's 62, I'm 59. And we have watched this town go from being a small community to virtually outgrowing itself. And every year, it's the same thing. We get people coming in from the Bay Area or down south or even from out of state, moving into the district, building. We keep spreading out. And yet, every time we spread out, we don't address our issues of our pipes that probably need to get changed or redone. A little shaky, but I just don't understand why we keep having to pay the price for other people in our districts. We have gone from being a bill of, say, $26, now we're having a bill of $67. And then now he's talking about it going up to $83 within a 4-year time. That's 20, if people really calculate it, he wants to raise it 22.5% over a 5-year period. And I just don't understand why we continue to let them get away with doing it. I understand we have to grow, everybody has to grow, but for what cost? There's households right now that can't even meet their bills to pay their water bill. And yet we're wanting to increase the rate on them right now? I just don't see that. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. I do not see any hands raised online. Next, in person, Zafrir Solomon.
I just have a question. What people who live on fixed income supposed to do? 25% almost in 5 years. You know, just not too long ago, a couple years ago, you guys raised the water rates. Garbage, you raised the garbage rates just not too long ago. What people on fixed income supposed to do? And, you know, he mentioned something about 0.0 people protests, and most people don't even know about it. They're just going to get the next bill someday, 5% increase. And if they won't have money to pay it, disconnected in the water. You know, in some point, government, you just raise sales tax a penny. When enough be enough. In some points, government need to be responsible for what they're doing. I was in business for 35 years, and the private sector and government have one different. In a private sector, you always find ways to get things done. Government always find reason why they can't get it done, or let's raise prices on everything. Enough, it's enough. You need to think about the little guy. Not everybody making the big bucks, and even if they're making the big bucks, it doesn't mean that you need to suck them for every penny that they're making. And it's funny, when there is a drought, we raise our water rates even if we're using less water because we can't use the water for our yard. But when we have a good year like last winter, nobody get money back. It's always only going up. And I think it's ridiculous for you guys to vote on it tonight when most people, don't even know about it. This is 0.000 that people that protested. That's ridiculous. You need to let the people know about it, because most people don't come here. Most people don't watch you on television. Most people don't read the news, don't listen to the news, don't read the paper. They don't know about it. And by the way, we didn't get anything in the mail that said, I found about it today when I walked in. So I think you need to have open discussion to make sure that people know about it, not here, somewhere where a lot of people can show up, because I think enough is enough. Thank you.
Next, Eldon Loescher.
It won't take me very long, trust me. I just want to know a few things. Our bills say for the meter. It says with the meter, that's for maintaining the meter, putting in the meters, and replacing the meters if you need to replace it. That money a month is almost $2 million. It's over $22 million a year. Now legally, that has to be, that according to what your paperwork says, that money goes for exactly what I said. Maintaining, putting a new one in, replacement. So the $22 million or over that a year going towards that meter, or they're going somewhere else. They're saying, well, we're going to use it over here, we're going to use it over there, we're going to use it whatever. When the statement you give us says that's what it's only for. So I just want to know is where's the money going?
All right, thank you.
No answer?
Yes, we do. Mr. Wong will address your questions.
Good evening, good Mayor. Very good question. The response to the meter question is that we have a fixed cost, and currently is about $36. That fixed cost is based on a meter size, so it's not necessarily just to fix and install the meter, but it is our fixed cost to pay for the cost of the capacity of our water system, to pay for customer service, to pay for the administration, anything that's non-volumetric or that has not to do with the production of water is really based, is that metered, what they call the fixed cost based on meter size. So it also pays for our debt service as well too.
All right.
Does it pay for repairs?
Yes, it pays for repairs. So the repair costs are what we consider fixed costs because it's not related necessarily to the production of water. The production of water is that $2.11 that we're raising the water rate to. That pays for the chemicals, the electrical, and the cost of water.
Okay. And for clarification on new construction, it's my understanding that the homeowners of the new construction pay for the water lines and everything, not existing customers. Is that correct?
That is correct. So when, for instance, when this new subdivision comes in, The city's responsibility is to install what we call a transmission main. And that transmission main is the backbone water system for the whole entire city of Modesto. As development comes in, they need to install their own infrastructure, which is typically an 8-inch line to serve a subdivision. The contractor is responsible, or the subdivision developer is responsible to pave and construct for the water lines in the system, as well as pay for the city's connection fee.
But not the
connection fees.
city.
Not the city.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next, Diane?
Yeah. I'd like to know where you got that 15-unit number, because I have a very large lot, and I don't have any grass, folks. I just have little sprouts of Bermuda. I do have trees, and what I used to lovingly call a pond, but it's very small, and it has nothing in it except frogs. And anyway, so my question is, where did you get the average of 15 units? Because a one-person house, I go over that a lot. So that's my question. And I did receive something. I did not know it was a ballot, though, I guess. And I didn't realize it was going to be 4.99 every year. Is that correct?
By 4 years.
All right.
Whatever
We'll
it
have
is.
Will
Whatever
address
it
those.
is.
Thank you for your questions.
The proposed rate increase will be 4.5% annually for the next 5 years. In relation to your question, Miss, your water bill will depend on how much water you use. So if you live by yourself, and the 15 units of water is based on the average of what we see through the city of Modesto's water system. So for you, ma'am, if you do have a large yard but you live by yourself, one could see your units being less than 15. Let's say it's 10, or say even down to 7. I did some rough calculations, and so if you say use 7 units of water, with the increase, your increase would be $2.35 instead of $3.07, which is based on 15 units of water.
Thank you.
I only never, 7 is a little unknown to me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Are there any other members of the public that would like to come forward and speak at this time? Confirming only, yeah. All right, I do not see anyone online, confirming no one online, thank you. And no one else in person. So we will, I will close the public protest hearing and ask the council members for comments. Seeing no comments, Madam City Clerk, have you calculated the number? I don't see any names here, and that's, all right, Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Will, for your presentation. Like I said, increases are something that none of us like. However, quality of water is something that's very important. I'm getting ready to have my 6th granddaughter tomorrow morning. And I want to make sure that the quality of water that they have is something that I don't have to worry about for my grandchildren. And yes, prices do go up. I'm an insurance broker. I see what the cost of building has gone through the roof. Materials have gone through the roof. And I'm surprised that it's only 4.7% or 4.5%. But quality of water is very important. Thank you.
All right, Vice Mayor Ricky.
So I don't support the water rate increase. I don't think it's necessary at this time. I feel like we're in a very good financial position. I feel like with us raising sales tax and raising garbage rates this year already, I don't see the need to raise water rates right now. I think we can wait a year or two if necessary and achieve the same goals of getting clean water. I think it's premature. I just think it's the wrong direction. Thanks.
All right. Councilmember Bavaro.
Yes, just a point of inquiry. Can you explain we've heard people talk about people on fixed income. Can you share with us again the financial assistance program and the dollar amount that we're going to increase that to? I know we had the slide, but I know the answer, but I would like you to just share it with the audience.
So the City of Modesto has a utility billing assistance program to help folks that are having difficulty to pay their bills. This program has been in effect for a number of years, but based on the recent increases, the City of Modesto did elect to increase the utility billing assistance program $10 from $35 a month to $45 a month. And the only eligibility requirement that we require those folks to want to apply or to inquire is to ensure that they are qualified for another assistance program like WIC. So if they can demonstrate that they belong to, or are participating in another qualified program, our folks in utility billing will be more than happy to sign these folks up.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Any other council member comments? Are we sure? All right. I'll make one comment. I support this. I truly believe that as a city, our responsibility is to provide basic services: streets, trees, water, fire, police. That's the purpose of the city. And I really feel that this would be one of those situations that if there was a disaster, we would really regret it. So I will support this. So going on, Madam City Clerk, have you calculated the number of protests received both prior to and during this public hearing, and the number of protests necessary to constitute a majority protest of the proposed water rate increases?
Yes, Mayor. The total number of valid protests received against the proposed water rate increases is 144. The total number of parcels affected by the new water rate increase is 75,584. The total number of protests required for a majority protest is 37,793. The protests received do not constitute a majority protest of the proposed water rate increases.
All right, since a majority protest has not been filed for the proposed water rate increases, the council may proceed to take action on the resolution listed on the agenda. I have a resolution adopting water service rates effective October 1st, 2023 for fiscal years 2023-24 through 2027-28 in accordance with Proposition 218. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Bavaro.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Williams. Now, I'm going to make a comment here. I do see a hand raised in Zoom. Was that hand raised and I missed it? No, it was not. Okay. All right. The public hearing has been closed. All right. We have a motion. And did you get the motion in second? Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scutia-Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ricky.
No.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. So the motion carries 6-1. Thank you very much. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I am calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.